Hi guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about traveling. Now, it is no secret that I have traveled and continue to travel quite a bit in my life. Being a writer slash content creator slash artist is always good in that it gives me almost an excuse for traveling. Not that traveling ever needs justifying, of course. Traveling is an opportunity to literally and metaphorically expand our horizons. It pushes us to the limits of our comfort zone, and particularly when we explore places that are different to the ones that we are most used to. I think broadening our knowledge is essential, and so is to experience that the world is a much bigger place than what we may think based on what we live every day in our sort of backyard. Traveling can teach us so much by showing us our own beliefs under a different light, helping us see the things that we do right and that we should therefore continue to hold on to, but also the things that others do better than we do and that we can perhaps learn from them and incorporate in our own daily lives. I think I know what some of you will be thinking at this point. This all sounds fantastic in principle, but as usual, practically, how am I going to find the money, I soldi, to do it? That's a fair question. Well guys, the good news is that traveling the world doesn't necessarily have to mean breaking the bank. Not overly significantly, anyway. Think about this. In one of my most active years as a traveler, I traveled to 12 countries in just under 12 months. I am a humble actor slash writer with no full-time job, no 9 to 5. This of course does not mean that I don't work hard, that I don't have to earn money, that I don't have bills to pay. What I am saying is, if I have managed to do that as a self-employed person, then more than likely so can you. All you have to do is be smart about it, plan very well, and of course choose your destinations carefully, and in some cases going with the destination that is cheaper to book at any given time. Let's start with some basic steps that we need to take in order to plan our perfect trip. First of all, what you need is a list of destinations. You essentially need travel ideas. Perhaps a place you've always wanted to go to, a place somebody recommended, a place you've seen in a film and that you've ever since wanted to experience firsthand. Write all of those ideas down. Make sure that your list isn't static, it isn't fixed. You need to be able to add to it, to cross off destinations, and also to move some of them to a different section, maybe a not yet sort of section. In other words, your list should change and evolve with you. Step 2, you will need to start scouting for the actual means of travel. How are you going to get from A to B? Now, of course, there are a variety of means of travel out there, but today we are going to focus on flight because it is the thing that most people will probably need help with. Now, in the specific, what I personally use to find the best travel deals in terms of flying is a website called skyscanner.com, which I have linked for you guys below. And I like this particular website, first of all, because it's quite easy to use, and secondly, because it has a section to find good deals for a list of destinations, not just one in particular. And how do you do that? Well, instead of putting in your final destination, say New York, you will put in everywhere. So you can choose depending on what your budget is and depending on which destination you want to go to. Now, this mostly works if your travel dates are quite fixed. If you're in school, or if you work in a school and so on and so forth, then all you have to do is put in the dates and choose the everywhere option. If your schedule is mostly flexible, however, like in my case, you put in your destinations starting from the list that you've created, and you put in the option for cheapest month, or if you know that you want to be traveling during a specific month but you don't know the dates yet, you just put in the month of your choice. That will give you a calendar with the cheapest dates to travel to a particular place. So that's what you do with the destinations on your list. You start with the first one and make your way down the list until you find the deal that works for you for that specific time. Now, one quick comment here, I would advise you to, of course, do your research and check that the destination that you are booking flights for will be okay to travel to at that specific time. And I'm saying this because flights will generally be lower during a low season in a specific place, and traveling to that place might be perfectly okay at that time. Whereas in other places, the low season might be low for a reason. Low season for a reason. That's kind of cheap. Anyway, just a little research before finalizing your bookings for the flights would be amazing and highly recommended. Step 3. Now that your flights are in place, of course, you need accommodation. Whilst on a couple of occasions I have used other websites like Airbnb, for instance, really the majority of the time I use booking.com, and I've linked the website below as well. Now, there are several reasons why I like it. One of them is just how easy it is to read unbiased reviews left by other travelers who have been to a specific hotel or hostel or whatnot that you are interested in. It's also quite nice to be able to contact the hotel or hostel very easily via the booking.com app on your phone. And lastly, but really this is possibly my favorite reason of all, I love the fact that you can book your stay in places that offer free cancellation. This is good not only because your plans of course might change, but also, wait for it, because it gives you the option of finding even better deals as you move closer to your departure date. And if you do, you can of course switch free of charge, which is amazing. So guys, we have talked about our 3 basic steps. Number 1 is having a list of destinations. Number 2 is defining your means of travel, so booking flights. Number 3 is finding your accommodation, booking a hotel or a hostel. The last thing I want to mention is of course to make sure you have your travel documents in order, and that you are clear on the visa requirements, if any, of your chosen destination. From now on, you'll be able to travel more and spend less. Before we close, just a quick note about the fact that of course flying comes with, unfortunately, a quite significant carbon footprint. However, more and more airlines are now starting to give us the option to offset that footprint. So if you are environmentally conscious, like I am, do consider choosing that option if you can. You pay a teeny tiny bit more, but that money is reinvested into finding greener technology and options. Equally, I would say if you're already traveling to a quite remote destination, to a very far corner of the planet, why not consider adding a couple of days to your trip and maybe visiting a nearby country to the one that you are already going to? It will save you money in the long term, but also it will spare the planet that extra long trip. Okay, I hope that was helpful, guys. Please subscribe to stay posted on more of my travel videos. And as usual, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or feel free to reach out on one of my other social media platforms, details of which are also in the description below. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.